You start with making sure that your brakes are on, ensure that the fuel selector is on both, ensure that the mags are off and the key is out. Then make sure that radios and all other electrics are off by switching off the avionics switch. Make sure that control locks are off. Make sure that the master is on. Check for an ammeter discharge. Then make sure that your trims are neutral. Checked. Drop the flaps in stages. Flaps 10, flaps 20, then flaps 30. Then go out and check for the rotating beacon and pitot heater, whether they are serviceable. So we head out. Red light is on, taxi light is on, beacon is on, and green light is on. And we head back to the cockpit, switch off the lights, nav light off, beacon off, taxi lights off, and master off. Take the string, come out. We start here, strain for fuel. Ensure that the fuel is blue, that's avgas. Then make sure that there's no water inside the fuel. Then we go here and dump the fuel. Then we come back, we start with the wheel. Check that there's no leaks of hydraulic fluid. Hydraulic jack looks nice. Make sure the brake friction pads are not worn out. The tire has good pressure and creep mark is aligned. Make sure the flaps are okay. Check the ailerons, make sure there are no contaminations inside. Check for operation with the other one. Then go around the wing, check that there are no dents of the surface of the wing. Pitot tube is clear, wing strut looks fine. Then we go up and check for fuel. Leave it for a while, hold and then pull it up. Have 1.5 hours of fuel on the left fuel tank. Make sure you seal it. And come back down. Static vent is clear. Cowling, all the screws are locked. Creep mark of the main wheel is aligned. The propeller looks nice. Cowling looks good on the right. Then we come and check for oil. The minimum amount of oil we should have is 4 quarts. We have we've got 6 quarts of oil. That's okay. It's enough for our flight. Then we strain fuel. Check again, make sure it's blue, make sure there's no water. Check, then come and once you've checked, white. Then we come back, hold here and climb. Check for fuel on the right wing tank. And we have 1.5 hours, so we have a total of 3 hours endurance of fuel. 1.5 plus 1.5. Then we go back down. Wing strut looks good. Check that there are no dents on the wing. Leading edge, green light is okay, nav light is okay. Check that there's no contaminations on the inside of the aileron. Then aileron looks, correction, flaps look good. Make sure that the creep mark is aligned. No leaks of hydraulic fluid. Hydraulic jack looked nice, and the brake friction pads are not worn out. Then we strain for fuel again. The wings are designed in such a way that water will gravitate to this point because it's the lowest part of the wing tank. So if there's only any water in the wings, you'll be able to find it once you strain. Check, make sure that the fuel is blue for avgas and that there's no contaminations, water or even some residue or dust or anything. Looks good. So we come here, our ALT looks nice, COM1 and COM2 look good, our ADF is in place and looks good, fuselage looks okay. Then we check our elevators, there's free movement. Static dissipators look nice. Static dissipators look nice. The VOR looks nice. Beacon light looks okay. Static dissipators on this side looks okay. Elevator has free movement. Then we go like that. Fuselage looks okay. Come back, ensure you've removed the pitot tube cover. Then we get back to the cockpit. Always make sure that you start when you finish the pre-flight go around where you started. We started on the left side of the aircraft and we finished on the left side of the aircraft. Then we come back, flip the checklist and do our internal checks. Make sure that the seats are adjusted. Make sure you're comfortable, you're able to use the controls well. Make sure hatches and harnesses are on. Put on your seat belt and make sure it's well locked. Good, well locked. Brakes on. First aid kit, check whether it's in place. Check for the first aid kit. Okay, we don't seem to have it. We'll ask for it from the ground crew. Fire extinguisher is in place and the serviceable date is valid. Fuel, make sure fuel is on both. Master switch on. Make sure the circuit breakers are all in by passing your hand over them. Cabin air control set closed. When you pull them out, they're open, but when they're inside, they're closed. The cabin air is closed. Flaps up and check for symmetrical operation. Make sure they are both going up. Then turn off the master because we're not going to start the engine right now. Mixture fully rich. Throttle nut loose. Exercise it by pushing it in and out at least once or twice. Then lock it, tighten it a bit. Curb it, check control security and set cold by doing so, pulling it out and back in. Trims and controls full and free in correct sense. Make sure that they are free in movement and confirm by checking visually. Elevators down, right aileron down, left aileron up, left aileron down, right aileron up, rudder to the right, rudder to the left. Beacon is on. Primers require and locked. Now that we've exercised the throttle, we don't need to prime, but make sure the primer is locked. The primer should always be locked in flight. Instruments, glasses unbroken, check visually, figures legible and within limits. Good. Radio off. Then at this point you shout clear prop and then request for start from tower. And that's the pre-flight check.